The 2026 foreclosure wave. Why banks are taking back homes now. Something shifted in the housing market. While everyone's watching the mortgage rates, for the first time in years, the foreclosure wave isn't just a headline. It's hitting the data. In December 2025, bank repossessions surged by 57% compared to the year before. That's a huge increase. Here's the weird part. Home prices aren't crashing yet, and most owners still have record equity. So why are banks suddenly taking back homes at a rate we haven't seen since the pandemic? Today we're looking at the 2026 foreclosure wave. What's driving it, who's at risk, and why this great reset is a different beast entirely. The data, it's not 2008 anymore. Let's look at the numbers. Foreclosure filings nationwide hit 367,460 in 2025. That's a 14% increase over the previous year. Now, to be clear, we're nowhere near the 2.9 million peak of 2010. But the momentum is what's worrying analysts. We've seen 8 straight months of year-over-year increases. The 2026 reality check, bank repossessions, they grew by 27% last year. The zombie backlog, thousands of properties that were stuck in legal limbo or pandemic-era forbearances, they're finally hitting the auction block. The geographic split. This isn't happening everywhere equally. Florida is currently the rate leader, with 1 in every 230 housing units facing a filing. Why now? There's 4 triggers. The FHA strain, low down payment loans. Those are the canary in the coal mine scenario. Delinquency rates for FHA loans are hitting 10 to 11% in some regions. These buyers often have the least wiggle room when inflation hits. Second, there's the cost of living squeeze. Everyone in the country's feeling that right now, every average Joe, median income. They've been getting hit hard for years now. And it's not just a mortgage. Homeowners are being crushed by skyrocketing insurance, premiums, property taxes. In states like Florida, these hidden costs are actually forcing people out of more than interest rates themselves. Third, the end of patience. Banks held back for years due to pandemic protections. But in early 2026, those loss mitigation protocols have tightened. The wait-and-see approach is over. Those protections have been removed. Fourth, the consumer debt peak. Total consumer debt is at a record $18.4 trillion. People are falling behind in credit cards and auto loans first. By the time they get to the mortgage, it's too late. Society's being hit on all sides. Basic everyday life. The great housing reset of 2026. Is the market going to collapse? Most experts say no. Redfin, Zillow, they're calling this the great housing reset. Unlike 2008, when people had no equity, most 2026 homeowners, they're sitting on a gold mine. This allows many to sell their way out of trouble before the banks step in. What to watch for in 2026? Mortgage rates. We've been watching those for years now. They're expected to settle near 6% by the end of the year, which is what they currently are here in January of 2026. 6%, think about that. You remember just a few years ago, the rate was half that, around 3%. And then it shot up to 7% for the past few years, and now we're going to get down to around 6%, as if 6 is some great number when just a few years ago we were at 3%. Another thing to watch for, the inventory. Foreclosures will add some distressed inventory, which gives buyers more leverage, but overall, supply remains tight. We have price growth. Expect a modest 1 or 2% increase nationally rather than the double-digit booms of the past. Summary and action steps. If you're a buyer, the 2026 foreclosure wave means more options, but be careful. Buying a bank-owned property is usually as is, and repair costs are higher than ever. Yeah, it just depends on the condition of the home when the bank picked it up during the foreclosure. A lot of people, when they're moving out, they have no more vested interest in that property. Some get negligent, others get spiteful. start tearing up the place. If you're a homeowner feeling the squeeze, don't wait for the auction. Explore a deed in lieu of foreclosure or short sale. Might still have equity. And the banks are taking back homes because that pandemic grace period, it's officially dead. It's returned to more aggressive and painful market reality. That's where we're at, guys. What are you seeing in your local market? Are for sale signs hanging around the properties longer than they used to be? Leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, helps my channel. I appreciate your time. I'll see you soon.